and happy Sunday. Welcome to the live stream. Today, we're going to be going over some AI news as far as what you should be knowing as a builder. We're also going to go into a little bit of some of the updates that's been happening with Windsurf because they released a new browser feature that I wanted to go ahead and check out. And then we're just going to go ahead and vibe at the end and talk about this new update from Tempo Labs as well. That's been really interesting. So if you're joining in, this is Fernando, and this is something new that I'm trying on Riverside, and just trying this new streaming format to see if I can actually get my streams up to like the higher level here. So appreciate everyone who's been joining in. And so usually my normal setup, I have another thing that's going on. And today we're just going to go over a little bit of news. If I should be able to share this screen here and then put myself into this like picture-in-picture thing, then we should be pretty much good here. So the first thing I wanted to cover today for my live stream was the fact that what you should know, or what you should be kind of paying attention to, is this new thing for Mistral. It's called the OCR. And so why I'm excited about this is the fact that you're able to take these documents and then actually put them into like markdown formats, and not only markdown format, but you actually have availability for these images. So that way you can do, better OCR. So this is actually on par and or better than what Google currently offers. So Google's offering is really good. And a lot of people are actually saying that this is pretty much like amazing if you're doing multiple languages. And so why I'm really interested about this is about 1,000 pages will cost you $1 to do this OCR thing. And if you're making any apps that require OCR, this is definitely something to check out from Mistral AI. So this is kind of one of the things I wanted to bring to your radar there. The next thing I also wanted to bring to your radar was this thing from OpenAI, was ChatGPT for macOS. So now you can actually edit code directly in the IDE. So a lot of people are using, Xcode to develop because that's the native IDE for this. And there's another plugin called Alex Sidebar as well that will let you use these various IDEs. But in this case, you could just use ChatGPT. I would not recommend ChatGPT 4.5 because that's actually not really good for coding. But you can actually use, the O models or other types of like O3 Mini and so forth to do the things that you want to do with your code here. So this is kind of one thing that I wanted to make you aware of for those who are doing like native development and stuff on devices. Another thing that has come out is with Google, they actually have this new AI mode. I try to sign up for early access, and for whatever reason, my account does not qualify. It says, join to try. Okay, so I have to sign back in again. But Google released this thing. Basically, what it is like, think about what Perplexity is doing, but now they're actually able to do it themselves. And so they're running AI on their own type of searches, and then searching different web pages and synthesizing that information with their own agents. So they're able to do this at scale, which is really, really amazing. And they kind of are offering an early preview. So I wanted to make you aware of this because I actually haven't renewed my Perplexity account yet. I've actually kind of paused that for now. And I'm basically have been able to get away with not being able to renew my thing because I get like 3 free, like really deep requests. But a lot of information I need can now be found using Google again. So Google's actually getting better, which is good. And this new AI mode is going to be really interesting. I don't have access to this yet. So I'm going to definitely go ahead and check that out for those who are checking out. But you should definitely have this on your radar because I think this is going to help you if you're going to be doing any type of development and going to be searching down these types of things. So another thing I wanted to make you aware about was this guy from Steve Builder IO. So he basically has this broadcast. I think it's already, almost 200K views. My post already has 30,000 views because I've reposted it. And he just breaks it down completely. And my favorite quote here that he says is, "I'd rather hire developers who use Cursor well than developers who refuse to hand code everything. I want a developer who works as leanly and as efficiently as possible." So that's pretty massive in terms of like where he sees as like a CTO and I think as a CEO of this corporation. But he drops so many really good hints here as far as like how to configure Cursor, how to let YOLO mode do its thing without going too crazy. And I think the one big takeaway I got from this was the fact that you can actually tell it to do test-driven development. So you can say, he doesn't really like test-driven development. He likes to kind of do stuff by hand, but you can tell Cursor to say, can you generate some tests before you generate the code, and then make sure all the tests pass when you finish. And so in YOLO mode, the agent will actually start creating the test before it creates the code of how the structure of the app and what everything should be going on. And then it writes the code, and then it runs its tests in a loop. And then it keeps going until all the tests pass, which is really awesome. So it's really, really good for like narrowing a focus for something you want to accomplish using Cursor. It was a really cool, unique way that I haven't seen anyone talk about very often. I mean, that's just one part of the 1 hour thing that I wanted to share. But he's a really, really cool guy, and I feel like this is something that came across my radar, and I really loved it. And I reposted it to share. Speaking of reposting things, something else you should be aware about is Pontus AB. So Pontus Abramson it has this new thing called the cursor board. So a lot of people are sharing their projects online right now, and they're trying to figure out like, hey, what's the best cursor rules? What's the best MCP thing? So this came across my radar. And I thought, man, y'all have to know about this. He just dropped this today, so you could just basically go to cursor.directory/board, and this already has basically it's like think about this more as like a product hunt style type of thing. So people are going to upvote every day, like for the thing that they see and actually see if it's useful. So you can post your project, you can post your prompt, you can post anything you want, like a video talking about anything that you're doing with coding. And this is just basically kind of like a filtered directory for you. So you should definitely be aware of this. This can probably be very helpful, and you can probably discover a lot of really cool stuff week to week. Here's one called Chaos Coder, which is awesome. If you haven't seen Chaos Coder, this is really, really cool. This is actually made by my friend Tech Friend. And basically, what you can do is just type in a prompt, and it's going to generate like 9 different ideas, which is really insane. And it's super helpful for prototyping if you're kind of trying to look into that, trying to see what's going on. So, have I tried Manus AI? No, I have not, Harris. I'm on the wait list right now for Manus AI. I just signed up for it and get started. Yeah, I need an invite code. So that's what's up. If anyone has an invite code, I'd love to get to try Manus AI. So Manus AI is basically the thing that's supposed to allow you to like do a bunch of automated stuff, and it's supposed to be pretty awesome. When I get access, I'll probably do a live stream. I watched the video, then I tried testing prompt, worked out pretty good. Yeah, I am done. That'd be awesome to see. It's really interesting how you got to try out the prompts and stuff like that. So, yeah. So just checking these things out here. I don't think I'm getting the messages from Twitter right now. I have to check that out as well. So, one other thing I wanted to make you all aware about was this thing from Quen. So QWQ, Quen with Questions, basically has released a new model that's basically topping the charts. If you can kind of think about it for coding. And so why I wanted to make you aware about it, and people are going to be talking extensively about specs and so forth. But one of the interesting parts of it for me that stood out was the fact that it surpassed DeepSeek, as far as a model, which I really like a lot for thinking. And the fact that it's 32-bit means that it can fit on more devices. So it's really kind of narrowed its focus. And one of the places that you can actually do that right now is on Grok, so console.grok.com. They have super fast inference. And so they now have this model hosted on here. I think they were the first ones to get this. So we can get this model spitting out like 100K plus tokens, which is really amazing up here. So we can spit out over 100 something K tokens and just like feed it in code, say code me a game of Snake in Python, but make it colorful, and then submit. And then basically with their stupidly fast inference, we just see this whole thing spit out ridiculously fast. So for me, I like, really fast inference and stuff like this. It's spitting out thinking tokens, it's spitting out code, it's spitting out everything. This is just from the chat window. You're seeing this kind of fly through this whole thing, which is really insane. I don't even know what it's doing. I think this is actually still thinking. So yeah, it's definitely cooking, and I have no clue what it's going to spit out at the end, but we could have even created an infinite loop. But I did want to make you aware of this so you can start experimenting and playing with this. I'm going to stop this for now so that way it doesn't eat up all my money. I'm going to hit close. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's QWQ 32-bit, something that you should be aware of and play about. You may hear more people talking about this, but I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. It's not really that easy to configure right now in the IDE like Cursor or Windsurf. So I imagine those people are going to be bringing this online pretty soon. So Windsurf Wave 4 also released, which was really interesting here. One of the most interesting parts that I liked about this whole thing was the fact that you can do this thing called previews. And so previews will basically allow you to select the part of the browser. And then when you select it, you can actually ask questions or tell it to modify things. And I think that's super cool because that's something that I think there's some other IDEs like as a Bolt or Lovable where you can actually select parts of the UI and ask it questions. But I like that that's brought down into the UI itself. And that's something that I want to definitely check out, especially with my UI. And, I actually have Windsurf spun up and I was going to go ahead and take a look there. But they also released a whole bunch of other things there. So like MCP UI improvements and various things. and also introduced the concept of referrals. So I do have like a referral link as well. And basically you can refer other people. They get 500 flow action credits or something like that. Or, and then you also get them as well. So definitely check it out. They have a whole bunch of stuff in here. I mean, they're shipping like crazy. I don't know if you know this, but they just dropped wave 3, I don't know, like last week or something like that. So now we have wave 4. And then, they've been pushing out various updates and stuff. Really, really cool. A lot of people go back and forth between Windsurf and Cursor. And, I like playing with both. I kind of like having my feet in both places, seeing which one does what and so forth. The other thing that dropped that really didn't make a lot of headlines, but I think this is going to be really, really killer, and more people should be talking about this. Is this thing from Tempo Lab? So Tempo, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, by the way. I just am thinking that this is going to be really important for your workflows, and just so that you're aware of them, so you can try them. I have some friends on the stream here who have been able to try some of these, and this one from Tempo is amazing. So basically, what you can do is connect, clerk, convex, Supabase, Stripe, all that stuff, all in one configuration, all in one app. And so the problem right now is if you tell the IDE like Windsurf or Cursor to just start cooking and say, hey, can you set up Stripe? Can you set up Supabase? Whatever. If you ask this the same time, like 10 projects, the same question, the exact same question, it's going to generate the code, 10 different pieces of code for every single thing that's going to be very different every time. And so one of the advantages that Tempo Lab offers is this new ability to basically group these templates together depending on the app you're trying to ship for Next.js. So you can have your Stripe set up. You can set up with Polar. We can set up Supabase, Clerk, and everything. You can Supabase or whatever other types of auth thing you want to do, and be pretty much done right away, and then have your starter app and then just kind of keep cooking from there. So you can take that out and then ship it into Windsurf, the Cursor, and so forth. So this is something that you should definitely check out. And the boy Ross Mike or Mickey has definitely already dropped a video on this, and he's dropped a really good video on getting started. He basically made a meme generator, which is awesome. And so this is something that I actually want to do, and I might code with us live today, depending on what's going on. So, big shout outs to Tech Friend, who's also on the stream, and Sneezy. Holy crap, this does that. It does the browser lag. I'm not really sure what that means. How many $20 AI subscriptions do you use currently? I'm losing track, bro. Right now, the struggle is so real because I am using like nearly. Okay, so let's count this right now. So we have O1 Pro, that's $200. We got Windsurf with $60 a month. We got Cursor. I got 3 of those things. That's $60 a month. Should we keep going? I don't even. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm burning through like people's GPUs and stuff like that. Let's see. I got Grok, which I'm paying for inference, right? So I have an app that's using that. I'm paying $20 a month for Vercel, right? I mean, like I'm getting fleeced right now, right? Super hard. I got Cloudflare going because I have some apps on Cloudflare, so that's like $5 a month or more. Actually, I think it's like close to 15. And then I got this like Riverside thing that I just subscribed to, which is like, I don't know, like $20 a month just to live stream, right? That's partially not even AI, right? That's just some of those things. Man, dude, I'm getting fleeced. It's like, is it worth it? I think, yeah, it just depends on kind of like everything that you value. For me, code to me is very valuable in these types of spaces, and I feel like if I can generate some type of economic output, I think that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, and I feel like I have to use these things to really understand and share back with you kind of where I'm headed with this. So what I wanted to test out was this new previews thing that basically that this that Windsurf has now. So with here, I think I should be able to like bun dev. And so I should be able to run my app and run a preview. So I think with the previews, the way the preview mode works is, let me just go ahead and chat with it. Let's see if I can chat. I want to run a preview and see if I can fix the colors, the color scheme for light and dark mode. So if I just ask this question, I think I'm asking Claude Sonnet Thinking right now. I probably should just use Claude Sonnet because I don't really need all the sauce right now. So what it's doing is basically asking me about my thing here. I'm going to try to see if I can change my layout to, can I do fill on the side? Okay. What's your Grok rate limit? I don't even know. It could be like super high, super low. I don't. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I don't actually really know what my rate limit is right now. I do pay for the developer plan, so that way, like I have a higher rate limit. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. That'd be interesting. So let's see. On Windsurf right now, basically what happened here. So I'll help you run a preview to. Oh, so did it pop out a browser? It kind of did. Okay, so let me see if I could share that as well. Can I share two screens here? See, the thing that I'm new with Riverside is that like I'm trying to figure out how to do this screen share thing. Um, but it might be even easier if I just do screen share with like, yeah, with this. Okay. So I think that's what I'll do. So that way I don't have to worry about layering my UI, and then kind of slide these out of the way a little bit. So that way these aren't showing up on my screen. Okay, cool. All right, kids. So when I asked to do this, it's supposedly running my project here, but I don't see it at all. I think it's just analyze my files and stuff like that. Error running MCP tool. I don't really need the MCP tool right now. Okay. I was just trying to run the browser. Okay. So yeah, I'm still, by the way, this is kind of like sort of a lightweight test right now. I'm using Riverside to stream, and I'm usually used to using Ecamm Live. So what I'm trying to do is trying to see if I can get like it going so that I'm having to share my window and also share basically the code editor in my face and everything all at the same time, and it kind of have it look halfway decent. Because right now it's just a little bit off, and it's just not really my normal streaming setup. So yeah, definitely appreciate everyone's kind of like ability to kind of hang with me here. So I think for me to be able to kind of chill here is probably the best way. So that way you can see fully the screen. I also want to know what the quality is like for those who are watching. Is like the screen quality okay, and kind of what's going on. So yeah, somebody's asking what is MCP? What's an MCP tool? So the MCP thing is basically like something like Windsurf or Cursor can go out to talk to this intermediary thing that's like the MCP server, and then that can be assigned, various tasks or various codes. So you can say, we can have it open up a web browser, get a screenshot, and do whatever. You can have it go and like check, your Stripe account, and then have it do commands in Stripe to check your products, and then bring that information back into Windsurf so that you can actually do things like update your products or debug something. You can also have Windsurf go out to the MCP tool and then say, hey, go ahead and check the database schema and tell me back, what's in there, type of thing. So it's kind of like this thing that kind of sits in between your app and the external apps that are out there. What makes it really cool is that AI has access to this tool, and this should basically be able to make it so that anyone who can describe things in English can then now use these tools, which previously had to be written in code and had to be written in a certain way so that these can consistently work for you. So that's the advantage, is that like it basically spread this landscape of these tool calls so that AI can use it. And so I think this is kind of going to be like the next big hype cycle, for a good reason, because they're actually doing that there. So audio and video are not synced. Yeah, not synced. It looks weird. Your mouth is delayed. This is so bad. Oh man. So yeah, I need to. Okay. Yeah. I yeah. Thank you for bringing this up. So in this screen right now, the thing is not synced. Okay, that sucks. Hide. Okay. Huh. Yeah. And then if we do something like this, just kind of testing 1, 2, um, is this camera synced up? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I'm seeing a delay on my screen too. Man, this is actual recording is higher quality. Huh. Wow. I wonder if I could do something on my end to kind of fix that, because I feel like that's not a really good thing, if you know what I mean, for the live streams. Like I can't be having that type of quality. I'm gonna have to hit up Riverside to get a refund. So what about for this camera? I think you should be able to hear me. My lips, are they sunk up? And then what about this camera? I don't, it just looks like a delay, right? Hello. Okay. Huh. Wow. Yeah, I don't really like the way that this is kind of going down right now. Okay. I was just doing a test stream, by the way. I think this is kind of um, where I was thinking with this, and I was hoping that maybe we can do some vibe coding and just kind of play around with the latest update and see what we can possibly do. So I don't know. Like I want the ability to have something where I could just slide my window and not have to do this really weird, awkward song and dance here, um, and so forth. So the other thing that I'm kind of missing is being able to see the X screen. Are you AI generated? Must be delay. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm definitely not AI generated, bro. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. How do you prove like I'm not AI generated? Because I have a strawberry. you know, like you could see this coming in the chat. Also, yeah, I don't know. Like you can also see that I'm not AI generated because of the time. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really interesting. So okay. So I think what I wanted to do was I was trying to see if I could run a preview in here. So website preview, if I go hit run preview. Okay, so this is kind of what I see now. All right. So there is this option down below that wasn't very obvious to me, but now there's actually a thing here. It says website preview. So we go back. So if you go to the bottom right corner here where it says, I'm hovering my mouse, it says changes to overview terminal, and then it says website preview. If I click that and I hit run preview, so it allows you to send additional elements. So when I click this run preview, it puts this into the chat and I hit send. And so now, okay, so I'll open a preview of the site and it fails. So for whatever reason, it keeps failing with this. Why is a connection refused? It looks like the local development server isn't running yet. Yes, of course, it's not. And so I noticed you have bun lock file. Yeah, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and see here. So I just have to, yeah, I want it to run it. So I just can do bun dev, right? After starting the server, we can try to open the preview. Would like me to suggest other ways? I could just go ahead and try again, run preview. Let's go and see if we can run preview. So no credits consumed. Interesting. So it looks like it's trying to run it. And how is it running it right now? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So it's running something in the background. And what I can do is I can try to see if I can I use a passkey? I'm going to see if I can log into my account. Yeah, so what's happening right now basically is that it's kind of entering this odd loop where it is, there is I'm trying to log into actually, here's kind of what I could do. It's kind of awkward right now, but I'll show this right now. So on my screen, I'm gonna stop this thing here. All right, so this is kind of what my screen looks like. So basically, what we have here is, I'm also gonna see if I could bring up my smaller screen here. So kind of going back to my old school like streaming vibes where I should be able to kind of move this around, I think. Okay, cool. So yeah. And so yeah, this is kind of I'm gonna switch back to my other streaming because this is gonna be better. But when I ask it to do its stream thing, it pops out this thing called Chrome Dev for testing. And so this is like a different browser, basically a Chromium web browser. And so what I did was I just put my email address and stuff to log in. And this is basically calling a tool process to go take a look at that type of thing in the preview. So I think it was just kind of spinning around into a loop to try to see if it can actually, watch me log in and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's kind of the web browser thing. And what I would probably want to do is just go ahead and log in and do that type of stuff. And so, the thing that you have, or the limitation that you have here, is the fact that one of the things for the browser is that even though you are already signed in with Google Chrome, this is actually a different web browser. This is like a beta version of web browser. So anything you have like password wise, then you'll have to like enter them again. So that's kind of annoying if you know what I mean. So so I have to go into like my actual Google accounts. I forgot like I don't have my password saved, and I have a password manager and I have all these different plugins for like Chrome and Chrome testing. So that's kind of annoying right now. So I'm having to like separately log in and do that. I think that's just part of the way things kind of work. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get a verification code. And once I do this, I think I should be good. So that way I can log in. So yeah, for right now, for those who are just dropping in, basically what we're doing is just kind of testing out this new feature from Windsurf, which basically allows the websites to preview. And when you hit this little globe command in Windsurf itself, it pops in this new thing that will allow you to, test in the browser with your app that's running locally. And because I have my production app that's actually running locally in my development server, I'm using Clerk as well. So that make Chromium your own. So yeah, they call it Chromium. Continue as Ray. Okay, cool. So let me see if I could switch back here. So what they have here basically is, I have the app and it's currently running in a Chromium browser. If I refresh, now I'm already logged in with Clerk. What's really strange is I haven't made any code changes, but it kind of rearranged my app into the like top left corner. And that's not how it's actually normally working. So localhost 3000. Yeah, this is kind of how it's normally at. Oh, there we are. Cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is basically my app, and what I was trying to do here was basically let's see, um, try to see if I can actually update this and say, hey, I want to change something for my dark mode or light mode. So how do I do that? So if I go into here, I think if I go to right and I hit new chat and I just say, I want this to Claude. I want to switch back to Claude Sonnet regular, right? Okay, so I want, let's see, if I go back to this Chrome dev for testing. So there used to be, can I inspect the element? How do I inspect elements for my app and change the color schemes? So this is what we're gonna try out. Yeah, trying out the new basically browser preview. So it says we're already running, which is good. Now that the server is running, so I'm currently using the write mode here. So I can say open preview in external browser and open preview. Oh, okay, cool. So now it's actually in the browser itself. This is nice. Okay, let me go ahead and see if I can now just share my screen. So that way this will work appropriately. So if I go to window and share this type of thing, now we should have this type of share screen going on, and then I should be able to switch back to this camera. That way we'll have this going on here. So I should have the app running, but that's actually not it. I think it's port 3000, right? Open preview. So now that the server is running, trying 3001 instead. Okay, so there's a problem here. Let me just try again. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go back to here, cancel revert, confirm revert. And so this is kind of what I remember seeing is this Windsurf preview thing. So I can run the browser in development mode. So this is kind of what it's trying to do. Okay, let me set up the browser, open preview. Let me close this and hit open preview again. It's in beta. Wow, this is not working. Okay. Yeah, because it's basically just localhost 3000. Let's see, localhost 3000. If I hit enter, nothing happens. Oh, that's strange. There's a bug here. Huh. Open an external browser. Yeah, the external browser works, but then I can't select any of the elements and use the editor for the preview button. Remember that. Oh, man. Okay. So I guess there are a couple issues. I'm using bun instead of run. I use bun instead of npm. So yeah, now it has it right. Open preview. So I think there's a problem here. It's the fact that like it does run the app, but then what happens is that it's not really doing anything there. So, yeah, I had similar problems last night. Interesting. Yeah, this is that's interesting. Wow. 2-year anniversary of GPT-4 on Friday. No way. Wow, that's crazy. That is true. Dang. Wow. Yeah, I started using GPT-4 probably a little bit later than folks. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, this sucks. Dang. Okay. So this browser thing that's still in beta still needs some work. Open preview. Yeah. For whatever reason, it has context about my app. And then in the chat previously, in a previous session, when I went to a previous chat, it's like, hey, we noticed that you're using. So when I was talking about my app here and trying to run this browser thing, it's like it was trying to run the npm command, npm run dev here. And it's like, wait, hold on. We noticed something that you have like a .bun lock file. We should probably do that with bun. And then what I found strange is that basically in my recent conversation here, when I just try to do the, like just ask it to do the thing to run the browser mode, it tries to run in the background, but instead, it's even like it's actually currently trying to run it or probably is running it right now, but then it's not really doing anything. And then for whatever reason, like if I type google.com, it doesn't go to any website, which I find really strange. So I want to just be able to go up here and say localhost 3000 and just kind of use that in my app here, but that's actually not what it's doing here. So let me just try to ask it again, just see if it does anything special. Open preview. Yeah, fail. I'm running on port 3000. Yes, I can see it. Bruh, no. Oh my gosh, this is painful. But why the UI shows? Okay, so here's something I see at the bottom. It says active previews show 2 different previews at the bottom. The proxy is a secure feature that allows safe communication between your local development center and the browser preview. All your applications functionality will work exactly associated. You can click open in browser, but it's not working that way. I'm gonna hit cancel step, run preview. Let's just see. Okay, I think I see the problem here. One is that, is there debug console ports? Okay, I don't think the ports are forwarding correctly. I'm using Clerk for authentication. And so I have like an actual dev server environment that when you're running this on localhost 3000, it'll reach out to the Clerk dev server and come back. And so there probably is some type of thing that's happening because they're maybe forwarding the ports from port 3000 to 58591. And so in that step, it's probably kind of dropping some of the certs and some of the other things. It's like, hey, someone's trying to man in the middle you between the development server of the authentication and not. It's really unclear because I can't really debug that further from here. I can't really see what port it's running and then don't have any console log output. So if anyone from the Windsurf team is watching, please fix that because this is really annoying if you're doing development with Clerk and authentication. And I'm a big Clerk guy and I'm not paid for them, but like I feel like this is this is big. I mean, I want to be able to update the apps and play around with the UI and then I click little things and do that type of stuff. So that didn't really work out as I was thinking, but that's okay. I mean, that's why we try these things and you can see me, stumble upon them. I'm pretty sure if we just do a simple Python app, that should probably work fine because I had it working on a simple Python app that was kind of doing that type of thing. So okay, that was really interesting. Just kind of catching up a little bit with the chat. Yeah, there's basically a big bug that's been kind of going on here. So yeah, that's okay. I mean, stuff happens. So yeah, that's what it is. So for those who are watching, basically what we were kind of covering a little bit was just some of the news updates, just kind of vibing here for a little bit and just testing out this new live stream setup. I think I'm gonna go back to my previous stream setup, which was through Ecamm Live. And that was just really, really dependable because I'm able to just go like this, in on the bigger screen, and then I'm able to move around this type of guy, like for me, and then I can slide in other stuff, and I basically just get my full access to my browser, which is really cool. And I think I find that pretty easy. So yeah, there's some cool updates that are coming that I saw in Cursor Land, and I think they're doing something here with custom at a custom mode, so that's going to be really cool. So we're going to be able to kind of take a look at that. So that'll be something that'll be coming up later. I think that I'm still trying to play around with. And I think another thing that people are asking a lot about are MCPs and like MCP servers and kind of what's going on there. And so I'm actually making some content for you right now regarding that. But basically, at a high level, just think about trying to talk, like having instructions for your AI stuff to do things in plain English. So what's nice about it is that you don't have to write specific code or specific files. You're just kind of letting these MCP, like little things that you hear about, connect to those things at your endpoint. So you can kind of think of them as kind of like the app store for AI in a lot of ways. So if you have something like an Amazon Alexa or something like that, and you ask it to do various queries, if you have like an MCP server installed, then you should be able to have more access to different things. And so right now, like if you ask, your AI agent to do something, it's gonna be like, yeah, I don't know about your Stripe configuration, or I don't know about your GitHub pull requests, or I don't know about your Slack channels, or whatever like that. And so when you install one of these MCP servers, they'll have these configurations and tools that'll basically allow you to ask more questions. And especially with any AI system, it gets much more rich whenever you're able to pull that context into your AI queries and do other things. And so, as you can imagine, if you have one app that's talking to another app, you can start to chain them together to do really cool things. So now that you have something that can connect to Slack and to connect to GitHub, you don't have to write any code for it. You can just say, can you just send an update when this is done, or whatever, like whenever I check something in, run this protocol or run this app. And so after you check something in, it can just start doing maybe some code reviews, check to see if any tests were done. Maybe it's already part of your workflow, maybe not. Ping someone on Slack, or let these other people know. And that could just be done at an AI agent level, which is really nice. So instead of having like a lot of code that you document, you could just maybe just have a simple set of a couple of line instructions. So for me, updating like a 3-line text file with some instructions that you want to be done all the time is very useful. And if it's something that's very repeatable and easy to write code for, you can do that. But I feel like that can change all the time. And then the types of capabilities the models will have will change all the time too. So that's just a sort of high level overview of where like MCP servers are going. And then as far as the nitty gritty details of putting them in and trying them out, is going to be something that I'm going to have some more content around. And so I want to do that when I have my other Ecamm Live set up. I also want to do something where basically I go live more often. So that's another thing as we're hanging out this Sunday, kind of talking about things. I actually want to go live. Actually, my goal is to go live every day, which would be really cool. But I want to keep them more succinct. So like maybe like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, where we just talk about one specific topic. And then we just kind of go in on that. So it could just be like, let's just get started with MCPs. And then I do want to do like something for the weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, where I just turn on and we just kind of hang out like this and just, vibe basically. So that could just be coding, that could be looking up stuff, that could be interviewing and talking to some friends, live streaming and doing, things that we do as live streams. So Prashad, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you on here. Yeah, big shout out to my guy, tech friend, who's as well. So, he's also on here doing the live stream thing as well. Definitely appreciate all those folks. And so, yeah, I'm basically just trying out this new thing with Riverside. People are reporting some delays with my mouth. That's just really annoying. That really wasn't happening before. And I was just trying this new screen share feature from Riverside as well. It's not really that exciting for me that I have to kind of switch windows and do different things. I kind of have a flow already with my other stuff, but that's okay. That's just kind of internal things. Or 7 hours. Yeah. So what is a good time for y'all to like live stream? Because I feel like there's a lot of different things that people want, live stream wise. And I feel like I want to cover all these different people. And I want to say like maybe on Mondays I go live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that, is that 8 a.m. Or is that 8 p.m. on the other side of the world where you're going to go to sleep, right? Is that going to be helpful for you? I also want to set up like different themes. Like maybe on Mondays we'll cover certain things with like news, like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something. And then, on Tuesdays and Thursdays we do something like technical. Yeah, it's just kind of leaving it up to y'all because I feel like I want to be here for you. And I'm also learning at the same time. So stuff that I learn, I'll just learn as I go. I'll just turn on the camera. We'll just cook. It's like today we're doing this. And also doesn't always have to be news focused. I feel like my news is very different than what other people's news are. I feel there's a big rush for people to report a news that immediately drops. Sometimes I try to digest it and see if it's like actually useful for me right now, because it just gets overwhelming, right? It's like, can I actually take action on any one of these types of things, and what's going to be really useful for me? Is it going to be useful for you as well? I don't want to overflood you with too many things or repeat what other people are saying. So AM PST is good for Europe. Okay, cool. I like that. What time zone am I in? I'm currently in Pacific Standard Time. So that's basically California. So Bay Area is where I reside. So that's kind of the time zone I'm in. We just went through a time zone change. So now we're an hour earlier. And so it's currently like 1:23 right now. So wherever you are in the world. So that's kind of what's up. Yo, Alexis, let's cook. Yo, man. Yeah, let's cook. I've been trying to cook right now. I'm not sure how this live stream, like have my camera angles. And let me just give you a quick studio tour because I think y'all, if y'all made it this far, I think you guys have been, you're a real one. So I got my new light set up here, and I got my little board down here. I have my actual computer, and I have this new like teleprompter thing, which I look at. That's kind of the big camera I look at. This is actually like my big studio display that you're seeing right now. And I have like a giant light that's up above that's kind of like lighting that situation. So you can kind of see this is I'm actually looking at the teleprompter, which is cool. And literally I have an iPad and I had to do this virtual display flip thing so I could flip that. What I've been trying to do is I want to see if I can get a new shotgun microphone so they can just sit away and just get directly to my mouth. So that way I can have much more of like this, like not professional, but how do you say, like, less stuff out of the way. I don't have to wear the headphones and stuff because I do have these guys here. And I like hearing a preview of my voice. And especially if I have guests on, I want to be able to hear them. But I also don't want to, blow up the spot as well. So as far as like, that's kind of that's going on. And then I also have some like lights and stuff behind me. So behind me, I basically have like this cool, I don't know if you can kind of see back there. I'll see if I can get you. So I have like this cool light back there. And like a book light as well, like a little book lamp that's you can kind of see. And then there's actually like a big old stick light type of thing back there. Yeah, so this is kind of like a little studio tour. It's a little bit of a mess right now as I'm kind of getting things rearranged, and I have like a little light there that kind of sits on the side. So yeah, now this is kind of my live stream setup is going like much more pro, and I appreciate everyone who's been able to tune in. So anytime would work, just be consistent. Yeah, that's my goal. Like my initial goal was just to do at least once a week, usually on the weekends, because that's when people are out of work and doing those things, usually on the weekends, like Friday or Saturday. And then now basically what I've also done is hired this team to help me with editing. So they've been able to grab some of my live streams and grab some cool snippets off of that. And then I'm trying to also work on some long form content that could be very helpful. So right now MCPs are a big rage and a big buzz. And I'm just trying to get something that's really practical and simple for you to understand it and then start playing around with it, because we're about to have like a new breakthrough in the way these AI agents can kind of operate. And right now, the AI agents that are operating are, for me, Windsurf and Cursor. Those are the two big ones because I use them for coding. But you can imagine these like living inside of your like little Alexas or other things that can interact. So if you can build one of these types of gateways that does these types of cool things, and that's pretty cool. What's nice is that it eliminates a lot of boilerplate. They're easy to install, and that's it. Like the other thing is that these servers can actually just sit on your computer. So they can sit on your computer, or they can sit remotely on a server. As you can imagine, they're much more powerful when they sit on your computer because they have more access to your system. There are security concerns, obviously, with that, and that's still to be figured out. But you can imagine how powerful that is already. There is someone who made one that allows you to like take a look at your contacts, take a look at your emails and all the things if you have an Apple computer, your notes. So you can actually ask AI questions about your notes and it'll actually reason through it better than what Apple Intelligence was supposed to do. So that's already capable today. So that's an interesting use case here for like an MCP server that sits on your device. Obviously, you're the one that's talking to the AI, and that's the AI is getting access to your system to send that back as context and answer various things. So just be aware of how some of these types of things work, and just so that you're doing like that. So cool, man. Looks chill, professional already. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm gonna switch back to my previous stream setup because I feel like that was much more productive. Then I might look into other ways to stream this out to other content providers. I was using this is my first time trying Riverside for a bigger live and trying to actually walk through a demonstration. And I find it too cumbersome to just get a screen up super fast and just start cooking or start doing some code stuff. So like, yeah, like right now I could just pull up a window and I could just hit this type of thing, and this is kind of where I'm flipped to. And so what I'm actually using here underneath the hood is this thing called Ecamm Live. And so Ecamm Live is actually the one that's allowing me to do this cool stuff where I'm able to switch these types of things. So it sounds confusing, but yeah, it's kind of the way it's going to be. So I'm going to basically be able to flip that back. So also, if you made it this far, I also want to make you aware of this cool thing that I got going on. So I think it's Array Fernando. If you go to youtube.com/@RayFernando1337, so what I'm actually providing, this is wild how they show this is my live stream. I actually have a thing where you can actually join to be a member. And so as a member for $6.99 a month, what you'll get access to is my private Discord. And so with my private Discord, you'll get access to, other people get to ask questions, get to hang out. Right now, there's not a lot going on, but I'll kind of give you a quick preview of what I got going on. So what I do in my private Discord right now is I'm going to be doing a lot more, like trying to host like little shows and things to get people to do stuff. But I have my little announcements. I have like design inspiration. So these are kind of like, I post this stuff to Twitter, but with Twitter, things flow so fast, you can get lost pretty quickly. And so this is just a really good place for me to kind of dump these ideas and thoughts as far as what's going on there. And here's like some LLM prompts and rules if you want to get access to them. I also have various GitHub repos, which I like and repost in here. So those are super helpful for people if you're just looking at various things that I like to look at. They range from all over the place, like prototyping to different things. I'm currently doing a research on MCP servers, so I'm actually dumping in a bunch of information on here as I go. But this is kind of one of the things that I was talking about as far as like agent ontologies. And so this is the thing that I was actually researching because this person describes like agent pipelines and how they can be used. Obviously, like this level of detail is not really needed to understand MCPs, but this is something helping me understand, architecture for agents, and then where does something like an MCP server sit in this type of workflow? Because this gets really complicated especially when you get like orchestrations of stuff. And this is just a reflection of the way that people are trying to model this data to achieve these outcomes with agents. So yeah, that's kind of that there. And so in the let me cook tier, basically, you get early access to the videos as well. So I drop members first video. So I usually drop that on Wednesday or Thursday. So you get to watch it before anyone else. And then, you get to kind of chat with other members here, which is kind of cool. So that's my private Discord right now. And then I think if you want to, you can get beta access to my app. So raytranscribes.com. So basically for the same price of being a member, you can actually, get beta test access to this app right now. And this is basically a transcription I made live, which you just drop the file and it generates SRT or TXT files. And this is something that I pop into the clots on it and so forth. Oh, before we go, I wanted to show you something on ChatGPT. So one of the things I wanted to show you was, let's see, with 4.5, I made a blog post, and I want to see if I can find it, TLDR. So I do find it really good for writing newsletters, and yeah, so this is really cool. So I gave it a transcript, and it was able to rewrite my entire newsletter. I think, what did I do? Where is it? So logo design. Huh. Shipping local apps with MLX. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, cool. So a lot of people have been like putting down GPT 4.5, but it's actually really, really good at creating newsletters and creating other content for writing. And this is actually something I'm thinking of considering using now instead of Claude Sonnet to write my stuff. I know it's really surprising. I'm a huge Claude Sonnet stan, but I gave it my transcript from my previous live stream with Prince Kanuma. And so in that type of thing, basically I was able to have it write a newsletter for me. And the newsletter actually sounds like fairly natural and stuff, which is really amazing if you can kind of think about that. So this is kind of the newsletter that it made for me. So it made this really good sounding newsletter. It's like, TL, like at the very beginning, it just starts out with the TLDR, which is kind of what I told it to do. Because I wanted to mimic After the Milk Road and those guys. So it kind of generated this new structure for me that I'm going to use for my newsletters. So it just kind of like very cool and very readable. It's like game changer. Run AI models completely offline on Apple Silicon, no servers, no internet. Early adopters are making bank on local AI apps. Apple's ecosystem advantage. So you can just read this as far as a newsletter, and you're like, damn, that's really good. And you don't even have to read the rest. But if you really wanted to read more, you can actually read more. And this is all based off a live stream transcript, which is really amazing, right? So from the transcript, they got all the information about what I was using to set up the Conda environment and everything. I was like, bro, this is actually too good, you know? That's what's crazy about it. So this is, yeah, actually a blog post type of thing. And I could show you what this prompt looks like because this is the prompt up here. So I gave it the file content, which was this massive, text file. And so the text file is the entire transcript from like the hour transcript with Prince Kanuma. And then this is the actual prompt, and this is how the structure of how I want the prompt to be. So it even shows you like the game changer, opportunity, mind blown, and then insert the most, surprising fact capability. So I'm literally letting the AI model choose that for me based off this transcript, which is amazing, right? And it even generates a captivating title. Like these instructions are really, really, really good. So this is my newsletter prompt, and this is like some really crazy sauce that I think I'm going to share with my members because that'll be really cool. So yeah, for those who become members, who join through, Ray Fernando, just on YouTube. You have to do this through the web, I think, because they don't do it on the iOS app. And then you'll be able to join and kind of join that. And then I have a post for my members that of where you can send an email so that you can get into the private Discord. So that's what's up. So yeah, that's a little bit of that I wanted to tell you about. If you haven't had a chance to, Ray transcribes, so awesome. Something I made on my stream, something that I'm going to be continuing to update and do that a little bit more. And so what do I got next for my next live streams? What I got next basically lined up is going to do some more vibe coding, trying to go live more often. So maybe something in the morning, maybe something in the evenings throughout the week. I want to know what like time zones that you're in. So definitely drop that in the comments when you're reading this, saying like, hey, yeah, I'm in this time zone, or, I prefer to watch streams, or I don't even watch the streams live. I just watch them after the fact. So that's also very helpful too. So that way I could just make it at any time. And that's kind of the goal. But I also want to know what you're interested in. So I know some people are interested in MCP servers. I'm going to be coding with AI in general. I want to do some more live streams with some other friends as well. So I have some of those lined up as well. And yeah, going to be just dropping more heat for y'all to cook with. So what's the best approach to clone an app? What's your opinion on links? I need to find out more about links because I just found out about that as well. So where do you find good, useful AI agents? Where's the website that risks that rates the best ones? I'm still playing around with agents. I don't really have a good like landing place for that right now. So TBD, I guess. I just built my first web dev landing page using Lovable and even got a few users. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's so cool that you're able to do that, Harris. I think that's really important that you're trying to make some money with these types of tools because that's kind of what they're for. You know what I mean? Like you need to be able to put stuff out there and get some money and see if your problem is actually validated. So by getting people to pay is a really good idea. So that's really, really awesome. Do you have a school community? No, I don't participate in school. I'm actually thinking of building like my own thing, either with Circle or some other provider. And so, yeah, that's kind of what's up. Love these live streams. Thank you. From Austria. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. That really means a lot. I think it's so cool that people are able to watch this completely all over the world. So these live streams are cool. Weekends work for me. Yeah. I also like want to deliver value, and everyone gets value from different ways. So a lot of people have enjoyed me, watching me prompt. So I want to do more of that type of thing. And so, yeah, lives, I don't know. It's just, you saw it, right? When I was, if you haven't had a chance to, if you were just watching this, or just joining in, how I was using Windsurf, and they talked about the preview thing and how we ran into a bug, and it's really unclear what's going to be happening there. But a lot of these things change so fast. So sometimes maybe you're running into an issue and like, why is everyone praising this? And no one's talking about the bad side is because they're not doing it live. They're doing it pre-recorded. So they'll edit that out, or they'll reach out to the developer, and then the developer gives them a workaround, and then they do the final edit and they publish it and it looks all perfect. And by the time you go to use it, like the way I'm using it live, we run into the error and we're like, how is this perfect? Yeah. And so I like live streams because I don't feel like I'm being gaslit. I'm going through it live with you at that time, and that's it. It is what it is, right? So that's what's up. um yeah, so live streams are my thing. Plus, I like to yap. So I think yapping is really a cool thing. Blockchain development about how to make a cryptocurrency. David, I'm not the channel for that. There are some cool people you may want to check out. I think there's a guy named Moon Dev or something like that. He does a lot of stuff with like trading and crypto stuff. And he's been doing that for a while, by the way. He's been like, I saw a stream from him like 2 years ago when ChatGPT 3.5 came out, and that's kind of where I found out you can do code. And I thought it was really cool. So I think his name is Moon Dev. You want to check that out. But this is not a channel for blockchain stuff or crypto related things. This is just the way that I'm actually trying to make an app. For those who are just watching or don't know a lot about me, basically I used to be an engineer at Apple. And so now I work on my own and as an independent developer, and I'm basically just doing these live streams as a way for me to teach what I know as I go. And I find that I'm trying to learn web development. I have a huge background on client side stuff, and I have a huge background like in infrastructure that it's related to like Linux operating systems and those types of things, low level kernel types of things, some user interface design and some other types of things as well. But for the most part, web development is a very new domain to me. So I'm learning live as I go and sharing my knowledge, I'm learning in AI space just the way other people are who are transitioning to this maybe as a career. And I feel like I could be helpful just by turning on the camera to share whatever I know. And so by you showing up, to participate and asking questions, not only do I learn, but it shares back to other people just like you who are learning at this type of phase. And so my goal is to just, turn on the camera and build as I go. And my focus is more on building, SaaS software as a service applications to various demographics. I'm a first time entrepreneur, and no one really in my family, other than selling tacos on the street, is like an entrepreneur type of thing. No one's, especially in this whole new business. A little bit about my background is that, I grew up here in San Jose. My family was just very hard working class folks. Parents didn't even graduate from high school at all. And, I don't have a college degree. I dropped out. I had so much trouble with school and stuff. And, I was able to become an engineer at Apple and do a lot of work on a lot of cool stuff. And that kind of has taught me so much about business and having to deal with like multi-million dollar problems that are burning every 15 minutes, to having like thousands of engineers waiting on things from you. It's just really torched me, but taught me a lot of things. And, through those things I've learned and prevailed, and then became a really effective contributor to fix really, really, really complicated problems at that company for many different times at various lengths of projects and scales and sizes. So all of that knowledge is kind of in there, and I'm trying to, it's not really useful when you're not working on that stuff anymore, but that experience carries forward into other domains. And just really excited to be building, these little apps and things that I can use to solve my own problems, but also maybe solve some other problems in the world. At the same time, I'm also trying to learn entrepreneurship. So marketing and like, connecting with people and trying to solve problems is a whole new domain for me. So I'm learning from other people in this space, and we'll be interviewing them from time to time as well as I come into contact or people reach out who are successful in the space, because I want to learn from them as well. I feel like that's really important for us to connect with each other and share that knowledge too. So this type of community is for those who wants to vibe, who wants to like learn AI, who wants to like, participate. If you're building stuff and kind of want to see a different opinion, definitely join in. I feel like you're at home if you're just like tech, like me. I like tech. I like playing around with AI. I like trying to understand code and debug, ship software, like everything around that whole environment is really exciting to me. I like keeping up with these latest updates and sharing them back with you so that we can learn together. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand as far as vibes. Dang, a bunch of comments coming in. Hey Ray, glad to see you again. Definitely great to see you. Does DeepSeek have any use to you at the moment? Um, I still use DeepSeek in terms of like when I am running into a problem that like O1 Pro or Grok 3 isn't really picking up, I'll bring in DeepSeek R1, the reasoning model in Cursor or Windsurf, and I'll just say, hey, here's all the files. Like, can you reason through and think through this problem? And a lot of times it can figure it out. Or if it doesn't figure it out, I'll copy all of its output and its thinking and put it back into another model. So I'll put it back into Grok 3. I'll put it into O1 Pro. I'll put it into like Claude Sonnet. And sometimes the performance actually is better from the other models because it saw the thinking tokens of where we were thinking before. So that to me has been very helpful. And that's, is it me or the FPS is low? Yes. So with Riverside right now, their FPS is apparently is 24 frames a second. And I just realized that my camera is at 29.997. And so I'm going to switch back to my previous streaming software, which was Ecamm Live. That way it doesn't feel like it's kind of delayed. People think I'm kind of an AI. So that is what it is. Have you tried vibe coding AI agents already? Um, no, AI agents, not specifically. More right now, I'm just trying to code my app, and the agents that I'm using are basically Cursor and Windsurf, because that's already just complicated enough just to get them to write code for me, and figuring out what rules need to happen there. So, doing great work. Keep it up. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. You said Moondev. Moondev? Oh yeah, Moon Moon Dev, like the moon. Yeah. Um, what's your context window? Um, I use like Grok, like Grok 3. I think the active context window they say is 1 million. So that means it can have access to that. What it outputs, I think, is 128K. That includes the thinking tokens. And then I think 256K for, or 200 something K tokens for Claude Sonnet 3.7 thinking. And then O1 Pro, I think, is like 100 something thousand tokens. So yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, it's just a bunch of those things. So this is the streaming software. Let's see where we are at with this live stream stuff because I've just been kind of catching on things. So on Twitter, it doesn't show me any of the chat. That's such a like big bum, big fail. That's really strange that this software doesn't do that. So I actually miss all my chats on X. So man, it's super important to have that type of stuff there. All right, so yeah, okay, so that's what we have there. All right, cool. So I think we'll end it with that. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. All right, y'all. Peace.